Welcome back. I'm Doug Thompson with special guest John Barker, the state representative for the 70th District. And John, what are you working on that's unique or specific for the 70th District?
As you know, Doug, since been the representative, I always work for the 70th. Every thing that I look at, I say, how's it going to affect my district? As they say, all politics are local.
Right.
And I try to take care. We did the Eisenhower license tag a few years ago.
Yeah.
Last year I was working with the Eisenhower Foundation to get a surcharge on license plates so that they would have a continued stream of funding to bring in kids from all over the state, because I think every child from the state of Kansas should come to the Eisenhower Library at least once during their school year.
Oh, it's a treasure.
Yeah,
the Eisenhower Library right there in middle of Kansas is just a treasure.
And then, of course, Abilene historically has been very associated with dog racing. The National Register is located out between Abilene and Solomon on Old 40. The tracks are out there. We have the spring and the fall nationals. So ever since the first year I've been in the legislature, I've introduced legislation that would bring back dog and horse racing to the state of Kansas.
Well, I'm looking at, John, something that's really a nice brochure, Horse and Greyhound Racing. Puts Kansas in the winner's circle. Who prepared that?
Kansas Racing. It's a nonprofit organization that are advocates for bringing back something to the state of Kansas that is associated with the state of Kansas and has a long history with the state of Kansas, which is the horse and the dog racing.
Yeah, and I know you're working on legislation for it, but one of the things I hear in Abilene a lot is, and it's usually from the people who are in the greyhound business, we've got our Hall of Fame here, we've got our offices right here in Abilene, and they don't even allow betting or for the racing. Is that accurate?
It is. And they train dogs. They need to. They've got to send them out of state to race them. And up until a few years ago when they brought the casinos in, we had a dog track in Wichita, and we had one in Frontenac, and what they call Camp Town, and one in Kansas City. And we would like to bring that back. We think it would complement the casinos, not be would not adversely affect them.
Wouldn't be a competitor to them.
No, would not be a competitor, and it will bring revenue.
Well, and talk about revenue, I'm looking at the brochure, it says 4,475 new jobs. Is that in the dog racing industry and horse racing?
That's projections for statewide now.
Wow.
And that's an economic boost.
And you're deeply involved in sponsoring this.
I am. I've had the bill every year I've been in the legislature. Last year we had a very good chance of getting it passed. It will be on the an issue this coming legislative session or next session, and we hope to get it passed because it's also going to add about $291 million in wages.
That's a lot of money.
When you get those 4,400 people working, they're going to bring in $291 million. They're going to pay taxes.
How much tax do you project that it will bring in, or has the state determined it would bring?
Yeah, it's going to bring in
like
about
23 million.
Well, 23 million initially. That's for what they call the privilege fee, because what they're going to do is they'll have the racing and then they'll have the gaming part of it, and to have those machines, they pay a privilege fee. And it's going to bring in about $23 million to $35 million, according to how many machines that are going to be in those three locations. And then the constant stream of about $16 million or so every year after that.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
And they're not asking for any incentives. Some organizations...
No abatements, no...
No abatements. They've not asked. They just said, give us the opportunity to make money, and if we make money, it benefits the state of Kansas because you will hire people. In Dickinson County, it's projected we could go back to the 93 level, bringing 400 jobs.
Man, that's a lot of jobs for
Dickinson
the size of Dickinson County.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and then of course that filters out to the surrounding counties.
Exactly.
Not everybody who's taking the new jobs are going to be living in Dickinson.
They're not. They'll be in Marion County. Though they spread out, but also like in Marion County, some of those folks commute to Wichita.
Right.
And if the racetrack north of Wichita is open, they could be working there and commuting every day.
Sure, and I would think there would be even more training of the dogs for the tracks, because right now they will race in Florida and along the northeastern seaboard area.
Right, they do.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
And they race in West Virginia and several places, so they're always transporting dogs from
Sure.
from Abilene to those locations.
That's right, yeah. Time for us to take another break. We'll
All
be right back.